The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everyone, this is your girl SC Bookgal 843 Patrice Grimble, and it is another Tuesday night. So, of course, you know I'm bringing it to you. New book, new author. So, remember, our theme for the month of May is the ladies of lit. Okay? So, all of our authors this month, mothers, and they're female authors. Okay? Now, motherhood and being an author, birthing the baby and having the baby. We're going to figure out which one is harder. Okay? So I am honored tonight to have one of my podcast sisters. So, y'all, I started reading her book today. This is another one of those I didn't know you had it in you type books. Okay? So, we're going to talk a little bit about that later. Just remember the character China. And we're not saying China, which would make her a nice little sweet tile. We talk about Chyna, one of them sisters, okay? So remember that, okay? Because what she does, and I'm only on, I think I'm chapter 3 or chapter 4. What thinking that's chapter 3. But that's after 1 hour of reading, you guys. When a book holds me like that, oh, it's on and popping. And disclaimer, I was reading it while I was at work in the teen room. So you should see me like, oh Lord, I hope this little kid ain't over here reading what I'm reading. So, it's one of them ones, okay? But I am so honored to have one of my podcast sisters, a part of the crew. You could see her show on every other Friday night. A lot of her show is about social issues with the family and health and mental health. But that's enough of me introducing her. Okay, I'm gonna bring up author Black Diamond. Come on up, girly. Come on up. Hey, mama.
Hey, hi, how are you?
I am great. Thank you for joining us tonight. So, how we
Oh,
always
thank
start
you so
off
much for
this,
having me.
of course. So, how we start off the show is tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, my. Well, you said it already that I am one of the podcast sisters here on the Crew Network, so I'm just excited about that. And I am, if you can't tell by my accent, which people say I have, which I don't feel as though I do, I am originally from New York and I am currently living in the DMV area with my children. I parented, well, up until last year, I said 12 children. Now I'll add two more, which is 14. And I also have a bonus daughter too. So that makes it 15 children as well. And I guess I must be crazy. Some people that say that I am, and I say that I am too. The young one is 2, and she's a pistol. And I believe some of you may have met her already on some of my shows. She tries to take them over. Um, I am a social worker here in the DMV area, and I'm also an author. I have a candle business, and I just love life. I just love doing what I'm doing right now.
So, y'all remember that turn off the lights? That was her. That was her candles. I missed that. I know y'all thinking, what is she talking about? So we used to do intermissions between our show. And we used to always have her candles. And then we be sitting up there behind the scenes, let's make a shower. Because it was a time for us to relax, but also a chance for her to advertise her wonderful budding brand that she has coming up. I still need to get me a candle. I had to stop using candles because I fall asleep with them on.
Yeah, you got to be
It's,
careful with that.
yes. So, Black Diamond, the author, how did this come about?
Ooh. Being a writer, that's not something that I wanted to do. I didn't even like reading books when I was in school. I loved school, but to read them, I just wasn't interested. I was more interested in what the teacher or in college the professor had to say. I figured history repeats itself anyway, so why bother to read it? It's going to repeat itself next year and the year after that and the year after that. So it wasn't something that I was interested in doing. But I started writing a book about maybe 30 years ago, but it wasn't published until 2010, and it wasn't even the same book that I got published. What I got published was my first book, and that was called In My Mother's House. And that was basically about things that happened to me in my mother's house. And if you had ever come to my mother's house, you may be mentioned in there maybe once or twice. But it was just, I wanted people, I wouldn't even say people. At the time that I wrote the book, I wasn't living in New York anymore. I was living in the DMV area. And I wondered if I ever had any grandchildren, who would tell them about me. And I figured the best person to tell them about me was me. So I wrote the book In My Mother's House. And I wanted my grandchildren to know who their grandmother was. So I wrote the book, I got it published, and I just gave a copy to one of my children, and each one of my children had one. So I figured that was it. But then I realized that people were buying it. And I said, oh, people are actually buying the book. And I just started writing, but I always write things that either I experienced or things that I threw myself into. I'll say it that way.
Mm, so your writing was from experience. So, which one of those books have that experience of motherhood in it?
I would say the first one, In My Mother's House, it does. Um,
Mhm.
I would say the series of children's books on foster care and adoption that's all about parenting. It takes people on a journey of knowing, giving you more insight into adoption and foster care. Because a lot of people say that they want to be a foster parent, but I don't really think they know and understand it. So I put it in layman's terms. But the
Mm.
idea came when my then nephew, who's now my son, asked why was I adopting him and why was he in foster care, and he didn't know. And I thought they told him at 10 years old he should have known.
Oh, wow.
And I told him what I knew of his story of how he was in foster care and why I was adopting him. And afterwards, I asked him, was he okay with what I had said? Because what I had told him was his truth. And he said that he was, but I wasn't okay because I just didn't like the story. I didn't like his story. I didn't like the way that his life was going. And I had to sit and think for a while. And when I looked, I saw his younger sister. And I said, oh my gosh, she may ask me the same question someday. So I want to be prepared. I want to be more prepared than I was for him. So I started writing it down and I said, this could be a book. And I made it a book. And it was supposed to have been just one book, but it wound up being three books in addition with a coloring and activity book. And that's to engage children because it's so hard to engage them as a social worker when they're removed and separated from their home. So I did the series of Stacy F. children's books on foster care and adoption. So it didn't end there. Um, we decided to go a little further and talk about the teenagers that are hard to adopt. People don't
Mm.
want to adopt teenagers because they get such a bad rap. We know what we were like when we were teenagers, and we were a little off the hook, but right about now, this is different. But they still need to be in loving homes. No one asks to be abused. No child asks to be abused. And I know the intent is to be a parent, but sometimes some individuals don't have the skills to be a parent to children. Um, So we did a book called 1380 Prospect Avenue. And that book came about, well, the title came about because that was where my siblings and relatives grew up in the Bronx in New York at 1380 Prospect Avenue. They would always talk about the fun they had and how you can walk away from your door and leave it open and nobody would go in the home, and you can ask a neighbor to watch your children and don't have to worry about your children. And it just life was good. And I
Mm-hmm.
just wish that I was part of that life and the things that they were doing and the places they were going. So I took the address and I made my own 1380 Prospect Avenue as if I was there. And we did the book 1380 Prospect Avenue, Not Another Bronx Tale, because it wasn't just another Bronx Tale. And then we did the book trailer. And the book trailer was supposed to be a movie, but we ran into, well, COVID hit. So we had to stop filming. So we did the trailer and we just left it at that.
I want to say thank you because working at a public libraries, we do have a lot of parents that call and ask for those difficult topics, those difficult subjects, and to have a book to give them so they can read with that child. It's so helpful, very much helpful. I've had parents ask about, I don't know how to talk about the loss of my mother to my child. There's a book called I Love You, Grandma. Um, I don't know how to talk to my child about them being in foster care. Here's a book about that. You know, that I really feel that reading is the bridge that helps have those hard conversations become much easier. So thank you. I
Oh, yeah.
appreciate you doing that because I'm not gonna say it makes. I don't want to say it makes life easy because it won't because of the situation, but it makes the situation easy to be talked about. If that makes sense.
It does. It makes it relatable because we decided to make it generic and not use terminology that only a social worker or someone in that profession would know. So it does meet families where they are. So if you are in the process of adopting a child, then you can talk about it in that book. If you are in the process of wanting to be a foster parent, then you have the book. So it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey of foster care or adoption. You can pick up the book and be able to talk about it. You can talk about it to your significant other if you want to make a decision. You can talk about it to the child that's in your home because they can relate to the character. And this couple of the books are characters, and there's just regular things that happen with kids, growing up of being around family and going places and doing things. So we just wanted to make it that simple for them to get a better understanding of maybe who they are and where they need to be. So we just wanted to meet them where they were at. And everybody is not in the same place at the same time. So we just made it in a generic way.
You couldn't say it any better. It meets you where you're at. So, of course, here at Etsy Book Gals and Friends, we are focusing on motherhood. So, my question to you is what traits of motherhood help you with your writing process?
Oh, they put me through it every day.
Oh.
My children, they put me through it every day. Each and every one of them, with the different personalities, I can pick and pull and maybe write a story on each and every one of them. Um, my biological children, with them growing up, and I have three, two men and a young lady. And growing up, they would always say, "You're mommy's favorite. You're mommy's favorite. You're mommy's favorite." And I said, "You know what? You are absolutely right. I do have a favorite, and I'm not going to sit here and lie about it." And I said, "I'm going to be honest. I'm probably one of the only mothers that will tell their children that she do have a favorite." So I turned to my oldest son and I said to him, "You are my favorite because you're the first child I ever gave birth to." And I turned to my daughter and I said to her, "You are my favorite because you're the only daughter that I gave birth to." And I looked at my youngest, which is my son, and I said, "You are my favorite because you are the last child by my husband. So you all are my favorite in different ways because you all also have different needs and different, and believe me, they're different ones. But they, even the foster care, the ones who are now adopted and custody and guardianship, um, it's the same thing with them. They all came in at different times in my life. And to tell you the truth, they may not realize it, but I think that I needed it at the time that they came into my life. So they're my favorites in different ways, for different reasons, and they work on my nerve in different ways and for different reasons. So parenting them, it opened me up to a lot of different things where I could have been closed, but it opened me up to a lot of different things. So I don't thank them enough, but I do appreciate them. I know I yell, holler, scream, complain, and everything else because I want the best for them in ways that I would give my life for it. And I don't think that they get that from me. For those children that had not been on that journey that my children were on with me when we had to basically run for our lives, they don't understand it, you know. And for those who were with us, the two that was with us, they thought I was the mean auntie because I wouldn't let them go out. But I couldn't let them go out because we were in the witness protection program. So I just had to be limited on what I could do with them. And then there was a time that we had a hit put out on us, so we had to run and escape for our lives. So there was different things that I have experienced that I'm still a little leery about the things that they do. I even still ask, "Where are you? Where you going? Who you with?" You know, and I said that's just a part of who I am. I don't mean any harm by it, but when you live the way that I've lived, you really have no other choice but to do that. But I try to ease up sometimes, but it's just they're my kids. And I remember hearing a celebrity say, "I brought you in this world to take you out. If they're gonna go out, they're gonna go out with me, not at the hands of somebody else." And I that's just the way that I feel. And I'm not trying to be this big bad person. It's just that I've experienced enough, and I don't want any harm to come to them because they're treasured in a way that I don't think that they would get until they become an adult. And my son brought that to my attention. Now I know what you meant by this. So I smiled
Yes,
when he said that because I said he gets it.
yes. I didn't I didn't understand because my mom, I was 20, 21, 22 when I had first left the house. And always, where you going at? Who you gonna be? Well, how you minding my business? Da, 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 da. Going back and forth. But then I now have the 22-year-old with the car. Where you going? I mean to ask you that. Oh, mom, I'm going to the store. I'll be right back. Okay, cool. And it's like I'm not wanting to be that way, but I have to because I'm your mother. And I feel like if I'm not like that, then that to me it doesn't make me feel like I'm being your mom the way I would like to be your mom. Not the way you need me to be, but the way I want to be. Because if I'm being your mom the way I want to be, then I am 90% meeting those needs. You know. And with the 10-year-old, if you want another one, I got one for you. You want another one?
She'll fit right in. I have an 8-year-old that she can hang out with,
Okay.
so she
Bags
would
and
she
crack.
definitely wouldn't get.
Send me an address.
You're a
We
mess.
do FedEx.
You know, I even
So
tell my mom, you know, at her age and my age, I still tell her where I'm going. You know, even just now, I said, "Ma, I'll be back. I'm going downstairs to have a podcast." If I'm going to the store, I say, "Ma, I'll be back. I'm going to the store." That's just a force of habit, but it makes me feel good. You know, the only thing I would feel bad about is if I don't come back. So, you know, and
mm,
at her age and her stage in life, I always try to tell her, "Ma, I'll be back. You know, I'm just running to the store." And then when I come back through the door, I see her head pick up, and then she'll say, "Oh, you back?" And I'll say, "Yeah." So I tell her where I'm going. I'm going to work. I'm going to the store. I'm heading back up to New York. I'm going here. I'm going there. This is who I'm with. You know, I tell her that's just the way that I feel. You know, I would hope that my children would do that. But if they don't, I'm still going to worry. No matter what, I'm still going to worry where they're at. There's few that's not around me right now, and tend to worry, and they say, "Stop worrying. You just can't. You're a mother. You can't turn it off."
You can't turn it off. Oh, you I'm checking my 10-year-old's phone to see where the bus is at. I know she's on that
Yeah.
bus. I know she's safe, but it's just the mother and me. I gotta follow that little bus. And I never knew I would be this way because I remember when I was younger, my mom was doing this to me. My first words, I will never be a mom like this.
Oh yeah.
And look at me now. So, if you can recommend a book that you wrote for a mom, what book would it be?
For mom. Ooh.
Now, when I say mom, I really do not like saying Mother's Day. I like to say Women's Day because I have one sister that has no kids, but she treats my daughter like her human Barbie doll. Every time she go, her and Naya are in ultra. Why? That's not me. But I don't want her to not have that experience of going perfume shopping and stuff like that. So take her, bring her back in one piece. So let's just say if you could recommend any book of your books to someone that's taking care of a child or an adult or just being a caregiver in any type of way, form, or fashion, what book would it be? And why would you choose that book?
I would say Stacy F. My Forever Mommy. And I
Your
think the
children.
title says it alone. It's the children's book. I would say the Stacy F. My Forever Mommy because Stacy finds her forever family, her forever mommy, and that mommy finds her forever child. So they
Mm.
have each other in there, and you see the process of what someone would go through just to be able to share their love with a child that they didn't birth. So for those who did birth and for those who have their biological parents, you see what this person went through to have this child, and you understand it a little bit better of the process. So I'm hoping that both sides will see it growing up. Maybe it's 11-year-old or 13-year-old, and if they're adopted, they'll see what their adopted families may want to go to. We also we what we did with that book, we did the Forever Candle. So we celebrate that every November for National Adoption Day. So we create the forever candles for all the families who have adopted children and they get the forever candle. So yeah, I would say it would be that book.
All right. So now it's fun time. You see, I didn't send you those questions. So we always have a period where we have fun with our authors. Okay. I love music. I wouldn't say pop culture, but um, I won't say I love TV, but I do like some shows on TV. Okay. I'm going to put a pitch. Y'all go look at the pit. I did that Sunday. Mind blowing. So if you can get any actress to play China from Habitual Liar, who would it be and why? And I'll tell y'all, I'll let her tell y'all a little bit about that book. But who would it be?
Instantly, who came to me was Regina King. I would say Regina
Ooh.
King. And the only thing that's different is because China, if you look at the cover of the book of China, you can't tell her culture. And that's the way I wanted it. You cannot tell because, for one, I didn't want to insult anybody's culture. So I wanted it to be specifically done, and it was very detailed in the way that she had to look. But I would say Regina King, well, for one, I love Regina King. And for two, she would bring that part. And I'm going to say that part for those who didn't read the book. And once they read it, they'll know what part I'm talking about. But I remember Regina King was on the awards show, and she was introducing Angela Bassett, and she did the role that Angela did when Angela burned burned the clothing in the story, and when Regina King came out and did that, I just fell apart, and I had to stand up and give her a standing O. And I said, thinking about it now, I'm looking at her, I said she would give that. No disrespect, Miss King. She's a little older, but she would still fit the role because my character China is younger than Regina King. But I think that Regina would be the person that I would love to choose.
You got me with that one because I did not see Regina King, but now that you're describing it, I do. I was seeing Kiki Palmer.
I don't think
Spider.
that she would be up. No disrespect to her either, but I don't think that she would be up for that. And I would
Mm,
love to keep Kiki for who she is, for who I see she is. I still
uh,
see her innocence in Kiki.
the innocent factor.
So I would not want to, not to say that Regina isn't, but she's older and I'm quite sure she's probably more experienced in life, I'll say. And I don't think that Kiki has. And in order for to play the role of China, you would have to do what I
Yeah,
did. And you
experience.
would have to go into the character. That's how I developed China.
Tiana
You have to
Taylor.
go into the character. Tiana, she
This
could.
the yeah.
Tiana could, but Tiana, I can see it, but it's just I would like her a little softer, but with
Okay.
that edge.
So you guys, I'm only on chapter. I want to say 3 or 4. So I haven't gotten deep in it yet. So the chapters I've read so far, mm, all I can say is I didn't know she had it in her. Y'all know me. um, you know what? Let's hear from the author herself. Tell us a little bit about this one.
The habitual liar. Um,
Yes.
I could, honestly hadn't planned on writing that. I was really sitting in my car one day, and that's how I usually write. Things will come to me, and it'll come to me, and I can write a book. You could be talking about something. You could be at a conference, and somebody can talk about whatever the subject is, and by the end of the conference, if something grabbed a hold of me, I can just finish the book just in my mind, and I'll go home and I'll just start writing, and then just be a book. This book took me 5 years to write, and I had to go into therapy for it. I was seeing a psychiatrist and a therapist to do this book because I almost lost myself because I put myself in this character in order to develop this character. And if you're not careful, you can lose yourself when you do certain types of books. So that's one of the reasons why it took so long because I had to get into that character and come very close to a lot of things that occurred in that book. So I haven't read the book. I never do. I never read my own books. I write them and I just let it go. But there is something I want to show you. I'm not sure if you're at that part yet, but there's a little something that I have.
Oh, I haven't gotten to that. What's that? Y'all should see, y'all don't laugh at me. What is that? I can't see.
So
My
this is something that I've taken from the book, and this is
oh,
something that I've used.
okay. Okay. I ain't sleeping
Now
tonight.
I'm going to tell you, you're going to rewind and rewatch, and you're recording this, so you'll blow it up a little bit. You start to get to a certain part of that, and then you'll understand what that is.
See, I was gonna
So
go
yeah, I
back and
had that to
finish
go that way.
doing it. I can't do it. I was supposed to go back and finish my review book, and I ain't even worried about that book no more. I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry, off the friend. I'm gonna get to your book, but I'm gonna have to finish this because see, she got demonstration and stuff and things and she okay. Yeah, I ain't gonna sleep tonight.
It
Thank
would take
God.
you there. So I would just tell other people. I wouldn't suggest everybody do what I just did. as far as putting yourself into it. But that's what I do with my books. As far as the children's books, I'm a foster parent. I'm an adopted parent, so I already lived that life. Um, in order for me to give the readers what I'm expecting for them to get, I need to make sure it's right because I don't want to give you junk. And in order for me to present you to China, I had to go there in order to give her to you because I wasn't going to hand China to you on a garbage can. And I'm very, very protective of China and some of the other characters in the book.
Oh
So,
Lord, it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a long. Look at you. Y'all know my to be read list is just growing every day, and they be first. It's the producer who had the poetry book that had me wanting to jump people bones. Now we got China over here. Y'all making life so beautiful for Essie Bookgal. I just love it. And then I get to go and I get to tease people. So I didn't do any teasers for Habitual Liar. And the reason why I didn't do any teasers is because I just started it. Okay. Y'all know how I will put reading this and then put, oh my God, and stuff like this. So be prepared for some of those tonight because I will stop in the middle of reading and I won't give it to you now. I'm not going to give you the book. Just make sure you watch out for them reviews because you know I'm bringing them to you, okay? So,
well, you know what? There's a book trailer out for The Habitual Liar.
and now she could tell me that. Now she
It's
gonna tell
on Facebook, so it's a book trailer out for The Habitual Liar.
Now I'm gonna go haunt her Facebook page and find it. And then when I find it, I'm gonna share it with you guys. Uh-oh. Somebody said, what about Kerry Washington? Yeah.
Kerry Washington. You know, certain people, for me, when I see them, and they're wonderful actresses, um, it's just something about them that I just like to keep their innocence. And I know they can do the work, but it's just certain people that I'm looking for. And there is, as far as this book is concerned, we're looking at making it a movie. We're looking at it because there's other things that's going along with it.
You did you just say make it a movie?
Yeah, we're working on book 3 right now.
So the two other books? There's another book right after this one?
Right after this one is called it's I'm not going to say it's a book. I'm going to say it's a thing. So we have book 1, then we have a thing, and then we got book 3.
Can you inbox me and tell me what the thing is so I can be prepared?
I can't do that. No.
And my nephew said, you're not my friend no
I
more.
just want to take people by surprise. It took me by surprise when I came up with it, and I was shocked. I was actually shocked, and I said, "Yeah, this is it. This is what I need for this thing." And that's why I just right now I'm calling it thing, just thing 2. It's not. I can't say book 2. I got to say thing 2 because I was really surprised and shocked with it, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm really proud of the way that it's going. So I'm just waiting to see more reviews of how people's accepting book 1. I know they're going to love book 3, but I think they're going to be over the top with thing 2. So it's a thing right now, and I'm just so in love with it that I'm bursting with it, and I don't think it's going to take another 5 years to do it. I'm still in therapy behind it, and I know this thing too. I'm definitely going to have to be in therapy for it. So I'm looking forward to it. People ask, why do you put yourself through it? Because I want to give this to you.
Thank you. I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's like, I broke a leg trying to get you this ice cream. Thank you. Oh Lord. Let's just see this.
Oh wow! So you have
This
somebody that's saying it embodies intelligence, seduction, and the ability to lead in morally gray spaces, much like China. Yes. So this person must have read the book, and they understand where I'm going. So they may even know after they've read the book where I'm going with it.
man. Okay. I don't go to work till 11:45 tomorrow. It's all good. I'm supposed to go to my daughter's school for outreach, and then I work tomorrow night. So hey, it's all good. Y'all, reading a book for me is just like TV. So I think I'm gonna be up tonight. I don't know if I wanted to do. Now I know how to put my screen on my TV. So I don't know if I want to look at it on my TV, my phone, or my Kindle. I'm gonna let y'all decide. Tell me which one I need to look at it on. I'm thinking the TV because I'm gonna need to make sure I read every word that Author Black Diamond has placed in this book. She's worked hard on it, and I need to make sure I catch every single word. So I know you got some events coming up. How about you tell us about those events? How to follow you on social media? How about you give us the rundown?
Well, in June, I'm going to be celebrating Juneteenth, and I'm going to Georgia for that. And I'm really excited about it because this is the first time that I've ever celebrated it in the way that they're going to celebrate it. So I'm really excited about that. In August, I'm heading up top, where people say up top, that's New York. They're having an event up there, and I'm going to be very happy to be a part of that. In November, I will be in Chicago. So I'm excited about that as well. And I'm jumping to next year. We're doing a conference, and we're doing a retreat, and that's based on what follows the habitual liar, which is our workbook. It's called uh, I can't even think of the name of the book. I'm drawing a blank over my own workbook. We just developed it. Both of them came out this year. It followed the habitual liar, and it's I
Is
can't
it
even believe that I'm drawing a blank.
is it the
I'm
cracks in the
completely drawing a
surface?
blank because it was right, cracks in the surface, strengths in the core, not easily broken. So we have a panel that comes on the third Friday of every month on Basic Black After Dark, and the panel discuss a lot of mental health concerns, a lot of trauma, a lot of thought provoking responses. And the panelists, oh my God, they were so wonderful. They're doing the work in the workbook. We have people following us doing the work in the workbook. Some have said that they didn't even think they would be doing it, but they're doing the work and they're enjoying it. I'm even doing the work in my own workbook, and I'm looking at it, and it's just taking me to places that I didn't even think that I would go. And it's my own workbook, and that's a book that I can actually say that I've written, that I actually have to keep going through because of this panel. And this panel is put together mostly by Dr. Carolyn Stevens. She is also the consultant. She is on the panel, and she's working with our viewers and our listeners who are calling in, and if they have concerns. And she's an awesome person. And she's also gotten me through the habitual liar as well, because this is a rewrite, as a matter of fact, the habitual liar. So she's working with me with that, and we're doing a conference next year, and we're also doing a retreat, and it's going to be based on China, as well as cracks in the surface, strengths in the core, not easily broken, because people are not easily broken. We do have cracks, and we do have strengths in our core, but
Mhm.
you're not easily broken. We're doing this conference and this retreat, and we're going to be in Chicago as well, and we're filming the commercial there in Chicago with the panelists who's going to be a part of the commercial. So I'm very excited about that. So we're just working on a lot of projects and a lot of different things surrounding this book, both books, the workbook as well as the habitual liar. And there's no mistake in the word habitual liar, the way it's spelled. There's no mistake in it. Some people say, oh, you made a mistake. There's no mistake in that. And there's no mistake in anything that's in that book. So everything that I said was intentional. The title was intentional. And I'm quite sure that some people have friends that they may consider to be that word. So I'm really happy about where I'm at with it. And now we have the habitual liar candle. So the candle is out, and that's they can get the candle as well. And I have something else that's coming along with the candle in the book. So I'm not going to disclose that right now. I'm just going to wait till we're just about ready to release that. So it's a lot of things going on with China and surrounding this book, and I'm really proud of her, and I'm talking about her as if, well, I won't say that, but there's a lot of realness with this book, and I'm just really
So
happy.
now I gotta go get the candle. I gotta go get the workbook. It, it, I
You
knew there
get the
was a
workbook. You can join us Friday because it's this Friday. We're going to be there, and we're going to be discussing. We're on session 2, so we're going to be doing
okay.
it for 6 months. So it's session 2. They've been doing the work, and we discussed the work, and a lot of things come out in this, and I can't be more proud of each and every one of the individuals that's part of this panel, and they bring so much to it, and I'm just sitting there saying, "Oh my gosh!" It to tell you the truth, this panel, along with what I've been experienced, has changed a lot of direction for me, and I'm just in a space in a different headspace with it, and I'm just really happy, and I just haven't been this happy in a long time. So I'm just grinning from what people say ear to ear
Ear to
with
ear.
this whole with this journey, and I'm just loving it, and I'm just putting everything that I have into it. So, and people can catch me on Facebook under author Black Diamond. Black is spelled Blaque. You can catch me on Instagram. Well, I guess I can say my daughter on Instagram because I barely know how to use it. I post things every once in a blue moon, but I'm a Facebook fanatic. My website has to be done over. It's under construction, so because there's a lot going on, so we have to do that over. So you may still see the old one up, and with some things that's being added to it, but we're still working on that. Um, Linktree, I don't even know what my link is for that, but I'm quite sure it has Black Diamond in there somewhere. And Twitter as well. I think it's Black underscore Diamond. So that's how you can catch me. But I'm usually on Facebook, or you can email me under Basic Black Essentials at gmail.com. And Black again is spelled like my name, Blaque. So those are ways that people can catch me on YouTube, and also the Crew podcast. So, and that's all. Black
So
at me.
y'all heard the rundown. So remember, I will have her section up most likely Friday or Saturday, and you will see this podcast. You will see the links to get her book. It's on Amazon, the workbook, the habitual liar, her interview. All this will be on her landing page on SC Book Gals and Friends. Because anytime you do an interview with me, I give you a landing page so people can figure out who you are. You got that connection, okay? I
I'm
thank
also
you.
going to send you.
See,
I'm
now I'm
not going to
getting.
show it again. I'm going to send it to you.
Oh Lord, Jesus.
I'll get your
See, you be
information. I might have it
starting.
already, but
I love her, you guys.
I think
I'm.
you're going to need
We
this.
known each other like a almost two. What is this? Season three? This is
Since we
like three
started, this is
years.
season 3. Yeah.
This is season three, y'all.
Yeah,
We've been
season
doing
3.
this,
We get ready to go into season 4. So
man,
yeah, it's been almost 4 years. Yeah.
4 years. Y'all should go back and check out other shows. Just go
Yeah, they're
time
hilarious,
travel.
especially at the end of the year when we all get together. That's fun. I love that.
Oh yes,
Get
because
together,
we were talking about
especially in
potato salads or something.
I think it was around the holiday. Yeah, that's a lot of fun when we all get together because I think we're at our best at that point because we are in our regular ourselves. We're not a podcaster. We're not a mommy. We're just sitting and just having fun with people who've been following us for the year or the years, and
Mm,
just laying it out. So
yeah.
I enjoy it, and I've been enjoying everybody.
Thank you. I thank you for being
Oh,
with
thank
us.
you.
Author, podcaster, mother, granny, great granny, soon to be director. I'm calling the actress in her future. She might get a CD out. Y'all talk about the lady who knows her branding. Candle line, turn off the light. Telling you, she is Hold up, Danny. She is that person. And I thank you for being here with me tonight, you guys. Remember, another Tuesday night in the books. Like I always say, there's no such thing as an old book because every book has not been read. So, see you guys next week, Tuesday, with another mother and another author. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye. Now it's time for me to be a mother.